Okay, so that took a little while to build, but now it's built. And now we can go into our demo folder and open up the Xcode project because I am inside iOS right now. And we can go ahead and emulate that. In the meantime, let's build it for Android. So I'll do Cordova, build Android. And so the same code base, which again is just that jQuery mobile template, would be published to both platforms. So we'll let that run. It'll take a second because I'm running a bunch of things at once. It'll take a second for Xcode to open up. In the meantime, I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so now I've got Xcode open, and over here in the www folder you see my code. But I'm going to let it index for a second. And when that's done, I'll make sure that my emulator's up, which it is. This is the iPhone 10. And then we can run a test on our responsively designed jQuery mobile little national park app, okay? And now that the entire project is indexed, I can go ahead and run this on the demo on iPhone 10. Now the beauty of this, and I keep stopping this video, I apologize for any breakup or inconsistencies, but we just want to make sure that this runs on an iPhone. So I'm going to go ahead and simply click this play button and sit back and relax and watch my my iOS app come to life. So the emulators for iPhone are very, very neat. They don't do one thing specifically that's important, and that's replicate the camera. The actual Android emulators are able to do that. But Android emulators are a little bit different because they don't have the map functionality unless you have Google Play installed. But it's a little bit easier to emulate on Android than there is to emulate on iOS. Now these warnings over here you can just disregard starting out. That's something you can learn as you get better at this, but I just love the idea of making a responsive HTML CSS project and being able to publish it to both platforms and have it run right away. It'll save a tremendous amount of time. Plus, you don't really need to learn these heavy languages. Objective-C can be very challenging to learn, as can Swift for iOS, and of course Java is a monster-sized language for Android. And what's even more challenging is you have to code or learn the language as it relates to the mobile development. So you have to constantly be on the watch for performance issues and like what happens when the phone rings and the app's running. So this is what I just published. This is my demo, and I'm clicking on that demo. Shouldn't take too long. It's launching right now. So you see launching demo there. And again, this is the first time it's running, so what's happening is Xcode is taking all of our code and compiling it into one project. So now that we run this, this should take a second to load, and hopefully it'll load the national park template. So once again, this could take a few seconds, so I'm going to go ahead and pause once more. And finally, it has loaded, and I can go ahead and scroll up. It does have a little lag. I can always run it on a slower emulator. Right now my computer has some issues, but I do have my application here, which is really neat. So I'm going to go ahead and click down there, and I just clicked on my application. I can go back. Everything looks the way it should. I can scroll up. So that is a nice Cordova application. I'll go ahead and close out here on that. I'm going to actually close out my Xcode real quick because I would like to show you what got created in Android. So as I close out Xcode and its emulator, more memory will be released. And I can go ahead and close my simulator. Just take a second, but what I want to do is look at the Android code that got created because we didn't finish that. So this was the build on the Android, and you see built the following APK. APK is a native file for Android. And if I go into Android, I can go ahead and see everything that was built. This is the Android file. And if I go into my source, you should see my package name, mm214.com demo. And inside there is a main activity Java that will create and build our APK, which is now complete. So I don't have any emulators launched up, but I could simply mail myself this APK and answer it with my Android phone, and then I would have the APK on my phone. So that's a little bit about Cordova and how it works with jQuery Mobile specifically. But it's a great thing to learn, especially considering that we're doing some AJAX in this last week of class. Cordova works great with external data feeds. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you're into it because it's nice to see what we've learned being put into use and saving us time. Any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me.